What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Gran Turismo 5. This is part 2 of the Supercars for under 300k challenge. So, in part 1 I did a drag race, which I got the results for 0 to 60 miles per hour and a full mile. 0 to 60 went to the Lamborghini, and the full mile went to the Mclaren MP4-12C, and I also did a speed test that also went to the McLaren, so it's 2 to the McLaren, 1 to the Lamborghini, and 0 to the Ferrari so far. So this is the lap around the Trial Mountain Circuit, and the first car up is the McLaren. Now, what I did with this, I had a 300k budget, right? But what I thought is, you know what, for the lap, let's spend the rest of the money we have left over from the 300. So the McLaren cost 225,000 credits, so I had 75,000 credits to spend on the car. I just pretty much put upgrades, made it faster, tried to make it, you know, better driving. And did that work? No. No, it didn't. This car was unbelievably out of control. This had the most horsepower of them all after this, with 788 brake horsepower. That's a hell of a lot of power, but it was uncontrollable as hell, and I couldn't really get a great lap out of it. This was the one that I managed to do. It was decent, but in the end I ended up getting a 1 minute 33.709 second lap with the McLaren MP4-12C. Next up for the lap was the Lamborghini Gallardo. Now, at first, before I started driving these cars, when I had just you know, put the upgrades into the cars, I didn't think that anything would really be able to beat the McLaren. It had 778 brake horsepower. The Lamborghini was second with 668 brake horsepower, I believe it was. So it was quite a big difference. It was over 100. It was about 120. I think it was exactly 120 brake horsepower less than the McLaren. So at first I was like, the McLaren's got this, it's gonna win. I don't even know why I'm gonna bother doing this. But then I was like, wait a minute, there is a point in doing this. After driving the McLaren, I was like, I think the Lamborghini may have a chance. I think even the Ferrari might have a chance, because the Lamborghini was also, it wasn't uncontrollable, but it was different. It's the only all-wheel drive car of all three of them. The other two are mid-engine rear-wheel drive, and it was actually very slidey. It was a lot slidey than I thought it would be for an all-wheel drive car, so that was a bit weird, but it was more controllable than the McLaren, and I had a suspicion that I would be able to beat the McLaren's time, and I did with a 1 minute 32.555 for the Lamborghini Gallardo. And the final car to do its lap was the Ferrari 458 Italia. Now, this car cost 283,000, so I only had 17,000 to spend on the car, which isn't much really. I managed to get the car up to 606 brake horsepower, so it's quite a lot less than the others. Lamborghini had I think it was 668. The McLaren had 788. This had 606, so it had quite a lot less brake horsepower, but it was probably the most controllable car of them all, which I wasn't really surprised about. Ferraris do tend to be quite controllable. I don't know why, but it must be just something that Ferrari do. They're very good at making good handling cars, and this one was definitely good at this amount of power. So it was from, I think it started at about 560 horsepower and it went up to 606, so yeah, it was a very good car. I really did enjoy driving it. Did I think it was going to beat the Lamborghini? No, I didn't think it would beat the Lamborghini. But did I think it would beat the McLaren? I kind of thought it might. I wasn't fully confident. Like I said, the McLaren was a very hard car to control. It was all over the place. This car was much more planted to the road. You know, it didn't want to slide around corners. It gripped very well. But in the end, I ended up getting 133.938, which means I didn't beat the McLaren, and the Lamborghini gets the point for the lap. The last challenge was the sound challenge. Now this is where I see which car sounds the best. Currently the McLaren has 2 points, the Lamborghini has 2 points, and the Ferrari has no points. So the Ferrari can't win this, but I still wanted to see how it sounded because Ferraris usually sound pretty cool. So first up is the McLaren. Next up is the Lamborghini Gallardo. And finally, it was the Ferrari 458 Italia. So after all three cars sounding pretty cool, I must say, I declared the Lamborghini Gallardo as the winner. I just preferred the sound of it. It was really between the Lamborghini and the Ferrari, and I kind of just give it to Lamborghini because otherwise, you know, the Ferrari couldn't win anyway, and it would just have to go down to another tiebreaker. So I gave it to Lamborghini. And yeah, so if you enjoy it, please go ahead, like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. Tell me what other cars you want me to do. Here, the Lamborghini won, the Mclaren came second, and the Ferrari came third. What other cars do you want me to do? I'm going to do some drift cars for the next one probably, but tell me what else you guys want. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace.